Good morning. Mark Phillips here and Jason Riley of AI Ambassador. We're going to talk specifically to auto dealers today and how we believe in the next 5 years, every dealership will have an AI department. And it's not designed to get rid of people, it's designed to make your best performers better performers, to give them more time to do the task that are generating you revenue and keeping your customers happy. So, that's where I want to start out with, Jason. I don't know if you got anything you want to talk to or directions about, but that I think is so important in the efficiencies. We pay for CRMs to make our employees more efficient. We pay for inspection tools in the shop to communicate with the advisors, to communicate with the customers, to make us more efficient. That's all AI is going to do, is take our best performers, hold them up, and give them the most opportunity they can so they're not doing mundane task, and it will filter out some of your low performers because you won't need them. You'll be more efficient, and the truth of the matter is, if they're low performers, you don't need them anyway, and they won't be satisfied with their performance, so they'll move on. So I don't know if you want to go department by department what it can do.
Yeah. So guys, we're not scripted here. So we have an idea to come to car dealerships. And one thing I'll add, as far as additional clarification, there are new tools. There's a new, latest, greatest, shinier, better, faster, quicker, stronger. AI is not that. AI it's the next wave. So we're not coming to you with a new recon report. We're not coming to you with, not going from, service to your internal recon manager to your pre-owned manager to your GM or GSM if you have to get approval to go back to your parts department to cut price. We're not looking at a system to do that. We're looking at a holistic system, and it really is an addition. It's a parallel. It's not a new thing. It's the new wave. So it's theoretically it's Blockbuster. So one of the things Mark and I have talked about and really is Blockbuster. It was great, right? We talked about it, and it was that Be Kind Rewind. It's funny how things pop in your head because I haven't seen a VHS. Now I do have a DVD player. So a bit antiquated and dinosaurish in that, I guess. I do stream as well. But Blockbuster was the Be Kind Rewind, right? It was, kind of fun on a Thursday, Friday night, get prepared for the weekend, go to the Blockbuster store, walk the aisles, see the video you want, and then you find the one you want. And of course, the video is not behind it. So you had to go to either the next Blockbuster or whatever. And then Redbox came out where you could go to your gas station, get the DVD. And if it wasn't available, you could just go on your phone and find out where it was, as opposed to having to go to the next Blockbuster, right? So that technology innovation. And then streaming services came out. So Blockbuster is dead. So again, AI is not a new way of doing recon. It's not skipping from having to walk to the, from the shop to the pre-owned desk or whatever the case is. It really is a replacement. It really is the next wave. And so as far as department, whatever the case is, I'm happy with whatever, but I do want to be clear. It's not a new toy. It's the next wave. It is either be Blockbuster or be YouTube. So I just want to kind of start with that. And yeah, I'm happy to go department by department. I'm excited if you'd like. So which department do you want to start with?
Let's start in the front of the store. Let's start at the sales.
All right. So variable, off we go.
Yeah, one of the things I think we fail to realize in the auto industry is even if you're open 9 to 9, 7 days a week, which most stores aren't, you're only open half the time. But your customers are shopping for a car 24/7 after they get off work. They work second shift, don't get off till midnight. They come home, they're going to have something to eat, and they're going to settle in. And if buying a car is in their trajectory for the next 7 to 30 days, they're going to do some research, right? They're online. They're checking your website out. You're checking your reviews out.
It's like what 92% of shoppers start online.
Something absolutely. Like that. I mean, if it's not half plus of your business, you're doing something wrong. You're not handling those customers. You've got an automated response for the guy who fills out a lead at 10:30 at night. And if you look at your automated response, for most of us, I spent 25 years in a car dealership. Most of those automated responses are just flat out crap, right? It's something to stop the clock. And your customer don't give a rat's behind about the clock. They care about some engaging information that's going to make me want to come and visit your store and do some business with you. So that's what AI brings to it. Programmed, intelligent, because we can give it all of the knowledge base that we want to about your inventory, about the products, about what they can do, towing capacity, whatever you want, and it'll deliver that 24/7. it also doesn't get its feelings hurt when somebody doesn't show up for an appointment or somebody says your price is too high. It doesn't get sick. It doesn't need a vacation. It works 24/7. It never has a bad day. It doesn't, it just doesn't. It does what we tell it to do. It's the employee we want, the perfectly trained employee that will handle your customers. If you have a BDC or a sales internet team, if I'm a lead and you call me 10 times and I don't answer and I don't respond to the text or whatever, you're going to get frustrated. And if you're going through your CRM, you're going to see that you're not got a lot of activity on those customers. But we can set this up to follow up relentlessly. You know, we used to say back in the day, until they buy or die, right? I know we don't necessarily want to be that aggressive today, but we definitely want to be in front of them because it's timing. Only 2 to 4% of the population's in the market to buy a car at any given time. So we want to be there when they're in the market.
You're 100%. And I think I need to go off camera for a moment and grab a pen and notepad because I lose my train of thought very easily, as you know, and our audience will find out. But I do want to back up. So I'll rate points, but I want to back up. And as far as being relational, and that's why I throw out terms like variable, whatever, it's kind of a shameless plug to say we are from the business. So I think we should kind of back up and give our resumes a bit. So I was in the auto industry for about 15 years. I started in sales at a smaller Porsche store. It's grown up a lot, but I was in sales there. I have a background in finance. I was in retail banking for a long time, which I well know. I didn't then, but I know now. Banking and finance in the car business is not the same. Even though you can post that on your ads for LinkedIn or whatever for hiring, the bankers think finance is the same. It is not. So anyway, had an opportunity to go to finance to a Lexus store. So spun paper as a finance manager for 6 to 7 years. I was asked a few times to go to the desk, managing and banking with the salaries there and seeing the attitudes versus the salary and the attitudes in the car business. I declined. Finance, of course, is a very, very lucrative position. And you're mastering your own domain. Now, unfortunately, you have to take the cash deal. You have to take the grumpy person that you're next in rotation for, whatever the case is. But you really do control your own domain. But eventually got to a point where I was voluntold to go to the desk. So sat at the pre-owned desk for a while, learned recon, so know about all the stoplight reports, things like that. Went to the new car desk and actually went as high as GSM. So GSM is the top of my kind of chart. So Mark, if you want to kind of give your resume, and I'm going to grab a notepad so I can keep my thoughts if you want to do that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I sold cars, sold Chevys in Greenville, Tennessee. I was a finance manager there as well. That job taught me so much about the business, but it also gave me Tourette's. Um, I worked the desk. I've been a general manager of a Honda store selling over 300 cars a month. I've ran 2 stores at one time. Small stores, big stores, they're all the same. The same number of headaches you have with 40 employees is the same with 150. So I've been there until 6 months ago for 25 years.
So larger scale and then so anyway, we are relational. We know the car business. We don't know the theory. We have the practical application. So 4 decades of experience between the two of us. So the one thing I want to mention is the as far as the knowledge base. So AI is not this big thing that is iRobot-ish. It's going to defect and go on its own way. AI knows what you tell it. It's like a toddler. So the knowledge base is what the AI thing is the programming. So the knowledge base is your website. It's the programs. It's what you want to know. So you are effectively educating your child. It will learn and grow from that and from interactions and of course your involvement. Great thing is it can be customized, tailored to exactly what you want. But the example I want to give is we just spoke with a large franchise store here in the Charlotte area. So we are right around the Charlotte area. We're both just in the suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina. So we recently spoke with a large Ford store who had one major complaint. They sold a lot of lemon law cars. It was 85% of their pre-owned inventory. And they had met with 2 prior AI companies. And again, we are not a bash the competition. We're an example. We're a theory, but real world application kind of guys. We'd rather be upfront, under promise, over deliver. So they came to us, or we found them. We've got a sales team. So we found them and they had one complaint, one thing they wanted to solve. And after 2 meetings with AI companies, and I know one of them is specific to the car business. So after 2 meetings, they couldn't get it solved. And all they wanted to do was at a certain point. So after the store had contacted the prospective client, they wanted disclosures to be sent or to be designated that it was a lemon law car, a manufacturer buyback. And neither of those two could do that. We took that complaint or that pain point and solved it. So we proved through a very, very, you know, complicated build out on our side to search data, whether it be NHTSA or whatever the case is, to determine that it was a lemon law car, and showed that we could do that for that company. There were other build outs, but as far as being able to solve pain points, et cetera, there's a lot of things that AI can do. And again, it's that person that doesn't get the toes stepped on. So I want to tell another quick story, and I'm off path a bit, but as GSM, I had one of my BDC reps come to me and said that this customer cussed her out. She wasn't going to call him again, anything like that. And of course, we did have click to call, so I listened to the call. And it's a little different between cussing out versus cussing. He said, "I'm not paying your damn fees." We all have dealt with doc fees, prep fees, whatever the case is. We've all dealt with that. So all he said is, "I'm not dealing with your damn doc fees." It was a true car lead. He came through. So I called the client. Decent guy. He just didn't want to pay a doc fee. So I had a conversation with him. AI is not going to hear, "I'm not paying your damn doc fee," and going to back up and stop calling. So that's that 24/7, no feelings, no emotions involved. It's going to follow the program, whatever your follow up is: phone call, text, email, day one, later in day two, whatever the case is. It can all be built out with that knowledge base or programming for what you want specifically. Again, if they say no, it is not going to be a feelings hurt. If they say, "I'm not paying your damn doc fee," there's no feelings hurt. It's all automated, and it's going to follow the system that we tell it. So very, very important point as far as piggyback of what you said. But as far as sales, workflows, automation, outbound calls, texts, all this stuff is going to be customized to what you want. Especially with AI Ambassador, we are not an out of the box solution. And we offer solutions for large and small businesses. AI Ambassador, of course, is tailored to a little bit larger companies, which is why we're speaking specifically to dealerships with whether you have BDC or not, sales team, no matter who takes your inbound calls, if it's sales, BDC, however that workflow is, but we're going to build out the workflow for you and it will follow that. Great thing is there are interruptions. If your customer wants to speak to a human, it can be routed over. All that stuff is there. I'm a little long-winded, but again, I'm passionate. So it can be built directly to you. Mark?
Yeah, good stuff. And the store that he's referencing that we talked to, we did show that we could handle their pain point. But the truth of the matter is they are closing their internet and phone leads at about 5%. And internet leads should be 10 to 15%, and phone calls, phone ups should be 20% plus. So, and they're closing a combination of about 5%. So we could fix a lot of problems for that store. I actually went in and did a lead for that store, and their follow up wasn't very good. One of the reasons they're closing 5%. So there is just a tremendous amount of opportunity for all of us. Nobody's selling every car they could be selling. Nobody's fixing every car they could be fixing. And no finance department selling every service contract they could. Finance department, part of sales, How many of your finance managers call the customer they billed out yesterday who did not buy a maintenance plan or a service contract or a gap policy if they needed it? As a general manager of a big Honda store, most of the customers in my office complaining about service wasn't really about service. It was because they bought a Honda and didn't think they needed a service contract, and now they're mad they don't have one, right? So, I mean, you're almost doing a customer a disservice by not having some kind of follow up the next day, 2 days later, saying, "Hey, my general manager wanted me to call and make sure you understood." Something that you didn't take advantage of that 63% of our customers do, whatever your penetration number is. So there's nothing on the front half of that store that we can't make you more efficient at. If you're selling 300 cars and it takes you 20 salespeople to do it, we're going to show you how to do it with 15, because we're going to keep them more busy with appointments and people coming through the door, because we're going to educate your customers to the fullest, and we're going to follow up with them relentlessly.
All good points. The finance piece is often missed in any kind of, I think, front of house, component from a sales standpoint. But yeah, I mean, the profitability and everything in the finance office, not only from that standpoint, but of course, it ties back to the dealership, ties back to the service department, ties back to that trade in, the statistics as far as return to buy the next car. All that is so vitally important. And I think we all have stories of that person that never buys a service contract, or his neighbor Joe had one and didn't pay for it. But you have that honest conversation. You actually get them to open up. You share that what that reason of the no is. Of course, you have to get past that KNOW to that NO and see what it's about, or perhaps it is that KNOW. You you ever come that they buy it, and then I think we all have those stories where they walked into your office a year, 2 years later. Jason, thank you so much for that. I've never bought it. I'm in the shop right now. I remember one guy specifically, and interestingly enough, used to work with him in restaurant 2 decades prior. We it was distant memory. He walked to my office about 8 months after purchasing it, and his wife was actually a third party vendor. I don't know if it was Cox Automotive, but she did something in the car business, and she's like, "Honey, just be careful. If he gives you a fair deal." But he got service contract talking about anyway. It was 8 months later, and this was a Lexus GX. So I mean, we're talking a decent profile tire, right? But something happened where he was pulling out of his neighborhood. A car was screaming down the road that he was turning on. He went off the road and actually damaged a rim. That was not only a handshake, but it was a hug of the thanks as why. So we all have those stories, but again, that follow up, just that reminder that the finance piece is vitally important. Again, the tie back to the dealership, not only the initial profitability, but all that stuff is huge. So sales, again, workflow, whether we back up BDC, whether we use it as a BDC if you don't have one, from a finance standpoint, even from a customer service standpoint. One of the great things is one of the workflows or automations is for reviews. So many, I think, manufacturers have gone to looking at the customer service ratings or the reviews or the survey answers being tens, nines, whatever the case is, whatever the metric is. I think so many manufacturers have gone to that from a measuring standpoint. One of the things we build out as well is customer service follow up. So it actually will help with not only preventing bad reviews, but getting those good reviews. So it'll pop you up the Google star rating, which improves your searches, all that kind of stuff. So that's sales, finance, anything else you think is worth discussing as far as front of the house or as far as variable ops.
Well, I mean, also just your inbound phone calls. I don't know who's answering those. Some stores have a receptionist, who can answer one call at a time, and then it gets directed to a voicemail. Some people, the salespeople or the managers are answering the inbound sales calls. But depending on how many people you have on staff, those calls may end up in a voicemail or may not get the fullest attention, because it's hard to give somebody attention on the phone when you got somebody standing in front of you or somebody waiting, whether it's a salesperson waiting on a pencil or what have you be. And sometimes those calls can be lengthy. They can be, 5-10 minutes. They shouldn't be, but they can be. So we also can handle those calls. We can pick up after the third ring if your team doesn't, or we can just pick up every call and transfer your manager or salespeople, the ones that need to be, and try to set those appointments so you have more time for training in the store and whatnot. Our agents can handle a couple hundred calls at the same time. If your customer starts speaking Spanish right off the bat, the receptionist is going to recognize that. Jason knows more about how many languages it talks, and he's tested it because I'm still struggling with English, and he speaks a little bit of like six of them.
English and
But
bad English, buddy. That's what I got.
so it even recognizes that you have a Spanish speaking customer, German speaking customer, and just rolls with it. You don't have to tell it, do you speak Spanish or habla español? It just does it.
That's a really good point. And as far as what AI Ambassador offers, we do offer what's called agents, voice agents with 54 different languages. But those are going to be single language. So if you deal only in one language, and of course we're primarily looking at English here, but we do have an agent that is 10 different languages. So the multilingual agent is English, Spanish, German, Hindi, French, Portuguese. And so the major ones, I know I'm missing one or two there. But as Mark said, it's great that you don't have to say, "Do you speak Spanish?" And we'll give you our line for AI Ambassador for you to call and vet it. And again, please do. We're not theory guys. Theory is great, but it has to result in a practical application. Theory is theory, and application is application. So we can talk a big game, but if we don't back it up, it's nothing. And again, so many companies I think promise so much. Again, we're under promise, over deliver. So when you call our agent, you say, "Hola, me llamo Jason." It'll say, "Hola, Jason, ¿cómo está?" As opposed to, "Can you speak Spanish?" "Yes, I can speak Spanish, Jason." It actually interacts on that. So again, it's 10 different languages. If you sprechen Sie Deutsch, it'll respond to you in German. It will not go from language to language. So I've tried to trip it up with our tests. So if you start in English, then start speaking Spanish, it'll roll with you. But if you then go to German or then go to French, obviously it's going beyond the capabilities of the system. But it's also not a realistic customer interaction. The customer is going to have their language. But again, it will recognize that and switch, and it's seamless. It's really cool. So yeah, the multi-language is good. And again, cool thing is we can name it whatever you want. It can be male, it can be female. We can have it judge tone, cadence, interruptibility. So one of the things that Mark and I discuss here is, because these calls, because we are in two different locations, So there's a lag on the technology. And one of my biggest pet peeves is somebody talking over me, and I try to be mindful and not talk over others. So occasionally I will talk over Mark because of the lag. So you can interrupt that sensitivity. If you want it to hear even a whisper in the background, it'll stop. If you want to be a little more or less sensitive, you can have them say, hey, stop talking. So again, it's all adjustable to what you want, what your business tone is. The language, the vernacular, the cadence, all that is exactly programmed to you. So again, all kind of ties in with that. Anything else in variable?
Nothing I can think of, sir. I'm sure there is. And if you have a question about something, can we handle it? Just reach out to us when you call our agent. They can set you up an appointment. You can put us in the comments. We'll reach out to you. We'd love to try to stump us, try to show us something we need to build out.
We love it because if you can't, if there's a hole in the hull of your boat, you can't fix it until the water starts coming in because you don't know what to fix. So please do poke holes, and also know that we set it up, general for our business. Anything can be customized to you, but if you see something, say it. And the cool thing is, if you say speak to a human or let me talk to Jason or something to that effect, it comes directly to my cell phone. So if you call our agent line, you'll have that agent presentation. The agent will tell you exactly what we can do for you. But if you want to talk to me, cool. It comes directly to my cell phone on the human transfer. So again, it's all set up to show you what it would do in your business or what it could do. Again, but it's going to be customized to you. So with and again, as far as if there's anything on variable that you have questions about, please feel free to like or not like, but please feel free to comment in the section. That'll come directly to us, or again, call in. We're happy to answer any questions. Happy to have any dialogue and show you exactly what AI Ambassador can do for you. Um, and I do want to come back to one thing that was the beginning. So the dealership we mentioned had that pain point of the lemon law cars, right? You mentioned closing at about 5%. So we approach it holistically. We're not going to just say, hey, send us an AI system when we do that. We're going to look at your business, and we will get as involved as you want us to, but we're going to look at it from a business owner standpoint. So, our conversation with them is, hey, we solved your pain point, did a full demo, build out exactly how we did it, or as far as actually seeing that it was actually operational to specify that lemon law car. But we're going to look at it and say, hey, I think a real pain point here is the number of leads you're getting versus what you're closing. Here's how we can solve that. So we're going to answer your questions, and then we're going to provide suggestions if you want them. If you want us to stay out, it's your business. We're happy to provide whatever level of service we can. So switching from variable to fixed, parts, service, I think service would be the natural transition. So what's your thought there, Mark?
Yeah, I think it's we tend to gravitate towards sales because that's maybe the sexy side of the business and putting people in new cars. But I think it can do more in service than probably any department. That's where my first interaction with AI was in the fixed department. We just started having it take our phone calls 24/7 and setting appointments, and our appointments immediately went up about 13%. So it increased our traffic in our shop. And if you're got a store and you tell me there's something wrong with my vehicle and you can't get me in for 3 weeks, then you got a poorly run shop, or you need to hire some people or build a bigger building, right? You're going to tell me that you have zero unapplied time. Look at your statement. If you got unapplied time, you got room for more customers. If you have zero unapplied time and you're 3 weeks out, then you need to either become more efficient. If your techs aren't turning 125% efficiency, including your lube techs, there's tons of recalls can be done. The recall record last year got set by 100%. It got doubled
It got
from what.
smashed. It got
Yeah.
smashed.
So I mean, it got clobbered, and so it's like somebody when we first ran the 4 minute mile. Now it'd be like running it in 60 seconds. That's how much that record got shattered last year. So it will take all of your calls. We had one instance where we had an older couple from out of town, and they were having trouble with their vehicle. The AA agent spent 23 minutes on the phone with that customer because they were having trouble with their GPS to get them directions to our store. Now, I know we've had many employees that are that capable, willing, and caring to spend that time on the phone with that couple to get them there for a single transaction because they were from out of town. They weren't coming back to us. Um, but if I'm an advisor and I take 23 minutes with an older couple to walk them to the store, that's 23 minutes. I'm not taking other calls. I'm not helping customers. I'm not checking them in. I'm not going over their inspection report. And not only can it do that, it can handle 10 other calls at the same time and set appointments for you, right? It can call your recall list. How many times a day do you think your advisors are calling decline services from yesterday or 3 days ago, or 2 weeks ago? That's missed opportunity. And labor parts, we can program all of that for you and have access to that, and really set your service department up for a huge uplift in success. Your gross retention's better in your service department and parts than it is anywhere else. And so any interaction you're having with a consumer now, we can increase those interactions and increase your business. And a lot of your recalls can and stuff can be done by your lower level techs, and they're the ones that have the time and the opportunity most of the time.
Yeah. So Mark, prior to your introduction to AI and you implementing that in your service drive in your store, and again seeing that 18% increase in roughly a month, which is it's huge. What was your belief in AI?
It's bullshit. I didn't believe it. I didn't.
And
There,
again, guys, we're not scripted. We are no bullshit guys. I'm not going to use the language here because I don't know you, and I will be respectful. Um, it, it was a little bit more than bullshit. There was no belief. So please continue. I know I interrupted. Please continue on your thought of AI before this.
well, and Jason brought up in the early in the conversation the what was the movie that you brought up with
iRobot.
iRobot. So it that was my perception, was it was a singular intelligence, and it's not. And that was part of my problem with it. And number one, our people are so good, and most of them are so caring. And I've worked with Jason, and I think he cared too much sometimes. But it's really programmed responses with the ability to interact however we want it to. And but yeah, right off the bat, I was mad that you were even offering it to me. And then my service manager was mad that we were going to take the phones away from his people. Then the service advisors were mad. Well, 2, 3 weeks later, they don't have to answer the phone as much. They have more time to interact with their customers who are there. And the service manager said, "How can I get more people in here? What else can it do other than take the conversation?" So, uh,
So you're saying human nature is resistant to change? Is that what you're
yeah,
suggesting?
100%.
We if you move my cheese, I'm not going to be happy with you. But sometimes that cheese that was in front of you is not the right. So being resistant to change is huge, and that's going to be that feeling. It's anything that's resistant. It's not going to work for me. Or we've had the bad experiences. We've had that chat bot on the website, or that automated response that goes out that stops the clock, which in my opinion, and I go back to an earlier point from you, Mark, if there's communication from a store, that's my communication. And if your first line of communication is crap, I'm not going to answer your next call. Now, you might leave me a compelling voicemail to pique my interest again, but I'm kind of a one shot guy. So, I would reach out to you. You gave me some BS, generic, whatever response. You didn't answer my one question that I posed because you're stopping the clock. I'm probably on to the next one unless you have a vehicle that I have to have, whatever the case is. So anyway, figures to change. It's going to support that. It's going to back it up. You mentioned, being on the phone call for 23 minutes with that person that had the GPS, the elderly couple. Time is money, and whether you're the GM, the dealership principal, owner, or a GSM or a sales manager watching this, time is money. And do you want your person investing 23 minutes on that, or do you want them out making money for you? Let's go to that advisor. Does the advisor want to be spending 23 minutes on the phone, or writing new ROs and closing deals and upselling and whatever the case is to get more money in their pocket? The answer is probably more productive on that. However, you also have that customer service piece to look at. You want that customer to be taken care of. So time is money. Add the support system that'll help that'll maintain that positive customer relationship for that 23-minute phone call without occupying somebody else. A wise man once told me about a radio station that I hadn't heard of previously. If you haven't heard of it, it's called WIIFM. What's in it for me? Mark is smiling because he is that sage individual that told me that. But it's true. What's in it for me? We can be all well, we can be all good, we can be committed. At the end of the day, the size of the house you come home to, the car that you drive home in, or the financial ability you have to take the vacation with your family to whatever destination you want, or the watch or whatever, that is up to you. And that's that drive. That's why we go. We can go there with the good intentions to build the team, coach the team, build it up. But bottom line, we go there to make money. We're not going to do it for free. I've said we're not. There's no Red Cross sign out front. We are a for-profit industry. Hopefully, we're open about that, and we're not apologetic for it. But it's what's in it for me, and let's take care of that customer while taking care of our bottom line as well. As far as me caring too much, 100%, we've had those conversations. I've spent too much time. But the cool thing is, I'm going to bring that over to your business as well. So we set up a spa on a different account. They're actually, again, we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. They're in New Mexico. But the contact there, who's actually the office manager, text. So we've had an implementation almost 2 months ago at this point. I referenced that one just because of the personal connection. Anything that's wrong is not a, hey, too bad, here's a customer service phone number. It's, here's my cell phone. I answer it 95% of the time. I text back. Everything's been adjusted, modified. I do care too much because I'm passionate, and it should be done that way. Customer service, I think, is a lost art in this day and age. When somebody actually provides us customer service, it's a holy shit, what just happened kind of thing, which it shouldn't be. But the caring too much, it's because it should be done that way, and because I have pride in what I do. I'm going to care that much about your implementation as well. So just a couple points I want to talk at. And no, it's all vital. The handling of phone calls, the increase in appointments, 18% in 1 month. I mean, if your service revenue is 300 grand, I mean, that's a $54,000 increase month one. And then as the systems go, as it learns, as your team becomes more fluent with it, as far as how to head off, any modifications we can change to your cadence, workflow, anything like that, the 18% goes to 20%, 25%. All of a sudden the capabilities are there because you don't have to expand your shop necessarily or hire more people. You've got that person without an HR cost, without the sick days, without the bad days, without the relationship problems or anything else, which it happens. It's life. It happens to all of us. Yours truly.
Yeah.
So not casting stones here. It is a real business thing, but there's no 401k. There's no health insurance. You have that so you can use your existing infrastructure, your existing employee base to do more because you're going to have the appointments, some of the follow-up, all that kind of stuff there. So it really is a solution to build your business. It's not the new thing. It's not the other way of doing it. It really is a solution, not a sale or a product. It's a solution to help build your business. It helps automate some of the meaningless tasks or menial tasks, excuse me. They're not meaningless in the slightest. The menial tasks that can be handled from a repetitive source and letting your staff come up with the creative or the things that the AI can't do for you. So it really is a supplement. And if you choose to have it be a replacement, then that's your choice. It's there as an option. But we provide it as a supplement, as a backdrop. Is that, on any kind of incoming calls, we can be the first answer. We can be a third ring answer. We can be a first ring answer after hours, whatever you want. It's all customizable. So service increase. Anything else on service that you can think of, sir?
No, but we didn't mention chat. I mean, we'll also have a chat agent on your website. So many times that chat agent is just trying to get enough information to plug into the CRM. Our chat agent will be able to answer the questions, tell you the towing capacity or the luggage capacity of a car, or fuel economy, horsepower, so anything that's listed in your inventory or information on that vehicle. Also, the service customers that reach out after hours that end up with that chat bot on the website, they end up getting fed to the sales CRM most of the time, and they dead that lead out. Hopefully, they do the right thing, take it back to the service department and get that handled. But sometimes that doesn't get handled. If you're on a website chat and you have service questions, we're going to answer that question. We're going to be able to check a recall, set you an appointment for the next day or the next week, whenever it is you're wanting to come in. So there's just a level of this at every communication platform or sequence that you have with a customer.
100%. And again, it's all built for you. And again, because we're not scripted, we're spitballing here. And again, we know the car business, we know the AI component of it. So it's just an interaction. But again, it's all built for you. And we don't want you to know AI. The reason we came up with AI Ambassador is AI is still kind of scary. What can it do? How do I do it? Don't worry about it. We got it. So we're gonna handle it for you. That's that one-stop solution. It's that white glove treatment. You are the client. We are the provider. You shouldn't have to jump through hoops. Let us know what you want. We have conversations. We know what you want. We'll talk with your department heads, build out. But again, we're your people. You don't have to worry about the how. We'll be happy to explain it. But this is really built for somebody who knows. That's the thing. It's somebody who knows their competition, who has called the store across the street and been through the AI system and said, that's pretty freaking cool. How does it work? Or somebody that says, hey, I've heard about it. What can I do for me? It's for the person. It was designed for the person that doesn't want to get involved in it, knows it's the next wave, knows it's the Netflix, not the Blockbuster, but doesn't know how to do it. we got it. That's what we're for. We will hand build everything for you. It includes monthly reporting, monthly calls with you if you want. Again, we'll be as involved or as hands off as you want. This is your business, so we will cater to you, but we offer the hands-on approach. So we'll give you reports, we'll let you know what it did, how many calls it handled, everything. So there's reporting, there's tweaking, and it's all on our side. Our goal is to get you set up with a system that handles any pain points that you have, increases your sales rate, maximizes return on leads, service appointments, anything else. It really is built for you without you getting caught up in the minutia. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to wake up and say, what did it do? What did it do wrong? That's what we do. It is that fully catered, custom tailored approach.
We will be your your AI department.
That's it. That's it. Do you want to break out parts? You think that's close enough to service? What's your thoughts there?
I think there's, the parts department in most stores probably take more phone calls than anybody does, and a lot of times it's annoying stuff. Do you have a part for my 1972 Camaro or what have you? We can dial into your inventory to help with things like that, pricing, stuff like that. You have a lot of body shops that call in, just want to know price and availability. There's a lot of things moving in parts. And then you probably have a tech standing there waiting on price and availability of your parts anyway at your counter. So we can relieve a lot of that pressure at the counter and filter out, again, a lot of those communications that your parts counter people are doing when they should be more productive. And dial that down to where they only have to take a limited number of calls, right? I need this on my today's stock order. Um, we can communicate to that parts counter person, that parts manager through text, email, whatever, let them know this needs to be ordered. This is, whatever your process is for ordering parts. If you have a special order parts thing and we need to take the payment, we can do that. There's all kinds of things we can do to give your parts counter team more time to spend with your techs and your counter customers.
Very good point. Very good point. And I'm going to throw in lunch. What's the common question on Saturday? What's for lunch?
What's
It
for
might be
lunch?
pizza, but AI can actually compile an order and place order through DoorDash for you. So I want to throw that in there because it is the common question on Saturday. And it's the number one question in this sales team's mind, right? What's for lunch? And of course,
As soon as the
after
sales meeting's
and
over.
as soon as it's over, what are you talking about? That's that cigarette on the way in. But no, it can take an order. It can do everything. So again, just giving examples of what it can do. And to quote a sales manager I worked for a long time ago, after lunch, it's all right, kids. Now that your bellies are full, let's go sell something. And again, that's the ultimate goal is to help sell something, solve a problem, provide solutions. It's to move the business and support. So kind of a holistic approach. What else, my
Amen.
friend?
I can't think of anything. I'm sure you guys out there can think of stuff that we can help your business in, and we'd love to hear that.
Good point. So we are open to comments, suggestions, solutions. We'll put phone numbers in the body of the message here, but I will go ahead and for spirit of putting it here, we'll go ahead and put a phone number out. So AI Ambassador phone number 980-480-6804. Again, 980-480-6804. That is on our website as well. But call our agent, put him through the ringer, ask him questions, try to poke holes, ask to be transferred. It'll come directly to my cell phone. Again, this is Jason. So we'll put it there, but please do call, experience what it can do for you, ask it, and then schedule a demo. We're more than happy to custom tailor a conversation for you, see what your questions are, what your pain points are, what you want to know if it could do for you, or we'll tell you what it could do for you. So please do call. Again, poke holes, suggestions, comments, we welcome all of it. Our goal is to provide a solution for you that helps either relieve pain points, increases profitability, closing ratios, any of it, all of it. So we're happy to do it. Any parting thoughts, Mark?
No, you're much better to be early at this than you are late. So uh, don't wait five. You'll
And
be
we're still
doing
on
it
the
in
early
5
side.
years anyway. Don't wait.
Yep, it's out there. It's still on the early side. So thanks for watching. If you do like the content, please like and subscribe. We'll give you more content about it. More importantly, make the phone call and see what it can do for you. So thanks for watching.